Chapter 7. Can I have my present now? I asked my parents. They had made me wait the entire day again. This ritual of waiting until the minute I was actually born, well, let's just say I was over it. I gave them both my most angelic smile. Sorry, sweetheart, you know the rules. Mom gave me a soft smile. You weren't born until 8:57 p.m. We have to wait until then for presents. Dad put his hand on my shoulder and then sat down beside me. I think we need to start making new rules, I muttered. We can make new rules tomorrow, Mom smiled. Dad shot her a brief glare, but said nothing. I looked at them curiously. I had the feeling I was missing something. I just wasn't sure what. My phone rang. It was my brother on video chat. I answered. Hey, birthday girl. Damien grinned. Hey, I smiled back. I love my brother, but it had been a while since I'd seen him. He was 5 years older than me and had just finished college last year. He was living migrating around the United States and other places with his wife. Long time no see. Damien's eyes drifted to my dad's eyes beside me. Our parents are so weird. I glared at Mom and Dad. They were still holding me to the... I held up air quotes. You have to wait until your actual birthday time to receive your present. Damien laughed nervously and ran his hand through his hair. That wasn't a good sign. My brother was hiding something. I frowned. Emma, happy birthday! Ariel leaned toward the screen. Thanks, I smiled. I wish you were both here. Ariel looked at Damien. They shared a secret look. I didn't like it. Mom and Dad had been doing the same thing a lot lately. It was like everyone had a secret, and I wasn't included. It sucked. Even Ariel knew whatever the secret was, and she married into the family. Is someone going to tell me? I moved my phone around the room. Tell you what, sis. Damien's jaw went in a straight line. He was trying too hard. Look, it's 8:56 p.m., Mom interrupted. Only one more minute. Dad's smile was forced. Mom got up, left the room, and returned with a package, wrapped in blue. I held out my hand. She smirked, but didn't hand me the package. Come on, really? I complained. 20 seconds to go. Ariel smiled through my phone. Tradition is tradition, my mom answered. Some traditions need to change, Damien laughed. I propped up my phone so my hands were free for the present. 10, Dad started. Everyone joined in. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday! I laughed and rolled my eyes, but secretly loved it. Okay, I'm finally, officially 17. Now I want to hear all the family secrets. I looked at them. All of my family looked at me like I had hit the nail on the head. Wait, there really is a family secret? Here's your present. Mom handed me the box. I took it and opened it. I pushed the tissue paper aside. In the middle of the package was a blue circular sphere. It was the same thing they had gotten Damien for his 17th birthday. Really? You couldn't find me a new present? So you had to reuse what you got Damien? My eyebrows went up. I expected laughter at the prank present, but no one was laughing. Ariel was hugging Damien excitedly. He had a huge, genuine smile on his face. I looked at my parents. My dad looked relieved. My mother was smiling. Pick it up, my mother urged. I picked up the sphere. It was smooth against my skin. Honestly, I didn't know what I was going to do with it. It was about the size of a baseball. If I threw it, the glass would shatter. It was pretty, though. Blue was my favorite color. I rolled the sphere in my hand until it started glowing. I fumbled with it and almost dropped it. It's nice. It was weird, really weird. Who gets a glass ball for their 17th birthday? A pre-owned one at that. I put my other hand on it. I was sure it was basically a paperweight that I didn't need. The glow was very pretty as I looked at it. I could see the images through the ball. Memories started hitting me from my childhood. I was a baby. What kind of storyteller will she be? Mom asked. A good one, if we do our job right. Dad hugged Mom. I was a toddler. Daddy, what's a storyteller? Damien ran up to our father. Dad practically flinched. Why don't we go practice some catch, buddy? Okay. I'll go get the gloves. Damien ran off, forgetting his question. The memories fast-forwarded. I was 10, checking the mail. I came inside and flipped through the mail. It was mailed from Storyteller. Hey, Mom, we got something from Storyteller? Is she, related to us? Teller is our last name, too. I handed the envelope to my mother. She looked at it and said nothing. Mom? I asked again. It's nothing, honey. Don't worry about it. Mom tried to walk away. Can I open it? I followed her. No. Mom walked down the hallway and disappeared into her room. Do you want to go out for ice cream? Dad walked in the front door a minute later. Sure, Daddy. I rushed to put on my shoes and forgot all about Storyteller. The memory stopped. Who is Storyteller? I asked the four of them. Mom smiled. You remembered the letter. I nodded. We have a lot to tell you. Dad put his hand on my shoulder. That sounds ominous. I looked at my parents curiously. The door opened. Damien and Ariel walked in the door. How are you here? I stood up and hugged Ariel. Then I hugged Damien, and he spun me around the room. I wouldn't miss this for the world. Damien whispered in my ear. Miss what? My birthday? He hadn't made it last year. He made it up to me a month later when he stopped by home. But coming home for my 17th birthday didn't make sense. I mean, isn't 16 and 18 supposed to be the big ones? Something like that, Damien smiled. Is someone going to tell me what's going on? I looked at them. I hoped if I asked enough times, someone would actually answer my questions. Can I take this one? Damien looked at Dad. Go for it. Dad leaned back like he was about to watch something on TV. Ariel and I were just in New York. Damien started the conversation. You drove 9 hours to see me? I was impressed. Not exactly. Damien looked at Ariel. They both sat down across from me. You took a flight? I watched my brother doubtfully. No one I knew took a flight from New York to Ohio when they could drive it in less than a day. I thought about the video chat from a little while ago. They had been in a room. How did he hang up and just arrive in a few moments? Most of Damien's old friends didn't live close by. He couldn't have been visiting them. Ariel wasn't from around here. The only people she knew in the area were me and our parents. The pieces weren't fitting together. No, Damien answered. Then what exactly happened? I folded my arms and watched my brother. He was more likely to bail from a conversation than lie to me. I admire that about him. Emma, tell her. Let me talk. Damien gave me the big brother look and that said, shut up or I'll shut you up. Fine. I scrunched my nose up and waited. Let me tell you a story. Damien leaned forward. I liked stories, but Damien hadn't really been into telling them while he was growing up. That was part of the reason I had been surprised he had majored in journalism in college. It must have worked out because he was traveling the country and sometimes the world. It made me want to go into it too. He did a lot of vlogs. Don't forget to add once upon a time, I smirked. Just for you, kid. Damien laughed. Once upon a time, there was a little girl. She lived in a small village. It's been so long, no one is sure which one. The city was not well protected. The little girl and her family feared for their lives. Her father was pulled into the war and died. Later, her 3 brothers were pulled into the war and they too died. Eventually, it was only the mother and the daughter. They escaped and found an abandoned cabin in the woods. They made a life there. The mother became sick. There came a day where the mother was desperate. She held her daughter to her chest and gave her a hug. She told her daughter a story of better days. I wish stories were real, the teenage girl told her mother. After the story was over, I wish every story you ever tell comes true. The mother placed a kiss on her forehead. May God make it so. If God granted me that, the first thing I would do is make a story where you are healthy and we are safe forever. The girl whispered, with plenty of food. Amen, the mother said. When they woke up the next day, the mother was well. The cupboards were full of food. They lived there safely for many years. Angeline became the first pavestor, or storyteller. She met a man named Doran. They fell in love and they married. Their children were Andre, Anton, Callan, and Zamfira. Not long after Zamfira was born, Angeline's mother died. It was a sad time for them. Angeline decided she wanted a fresh start. Dorn agreed. They moved away. When they moved, the family took the last name Pevest, meaning story. By then, Angeline knew she was a storyteller, and her children had started showing the signs of a storyteller like their mother. Damien paused. Okay, are you switching from journalism to writing novels? It's a good start, I shrugged. It's not my story, Damien answered. It's our story, Dad spoke up. It's our heritage. Are you saying that Angeline Pevest is our great-great-great-grandmother or whatever? I looked at my parents. Add a few more greats, my mom added. But yes, Emma. My dad's gaze held mine. My dad was serious. My mother had never lied to me. I glanced at my brother and his wife. They didn't look like this. They were playing a practical joke. And what does this have to do with me? I folded my arms again. Damien stood up. He held out his hand. I took it. I heard a story that Emma and Damien Teller were in California on the beach. Damien said the words quickly. My house was simply gone. I was standing on a beach, holding my brother's hand. California was 3 hours behind Ohio, so it was still daylight. It wouldn't be long until the sun set. I looked at my brother in awe. That's how you made it home so quick. Damien nodded. I let go of my brother's hand. I was standing barefoot on the sand. I moved my feet around. It was definitely sand. I walked in a circle around Damien. Wow. I stopped in front of my brother. Storyteller powers manifest at 17, the same age Angeline was when she got her ability. It has been that way since the beginning, Damien explains. You mean I can do it too? I asked. Actually, you've been able to do it for a while now, Damien smiled. So if I said I heard a story that Emma and Damien had milkshakes? I stopped talking as I felt the cold beverage in my hand. I looked at Damien. He was holding one too. Yeah. Damien smiled and took a sip of the milkshake. Thanks, by the way. I did that? I looked down at the milkshake and took a drink. It was perfect. I knew milkshakes come in all flavors, but there is something about a plain vanilla milkshake that is satisfying. I always regret if I change it up. Sit with me. Damien sat on the beach. I sat beside him. We both watched the sunset and drank our milkshakes until they were gone. It was a perfect end to my birthday. I leaned on my brother's shoulder. Not the birthday ending I imagined. It's so much better. I laughed. It's been hard keeping it from you, Damien confessed. I sat up. How did you tell Ariel? I mean, obviously, she knows. Damien laughed. You could say that. So I crossed my legs and faced him. Did you ever wonder why Mom and Dad didn't want us to date until we were 17? Damien changed the subject. I guess. I just figured it was a stupid parent role. I shrugged. It's more than that. Ariel and I were destined to be together. Damien spoke the words slower than normal, like he was trying to say things correctly. Yeah, you're perfect for each other, I agreed. That's not what I meant. Damien shook his head. What do you mean? I was confused. I heard a story that Emma's birthday present was in her lap. Damien's words came out quickly. I looked down and the blue sphere was in my lap. I picked it up. It started glowing. Where is it calling you? Damien asked. I wanted to demand what he meant. I rolled the sphere in my hands. I felt a tug on my soul. Instead of speaking, I merely pointed. Weird, huh? Damien's brown eyes met mine. I nodded. You can say no to whoever it is, but trust me, sis. When you meet the right person, you don't want to say no. Damien's heart shone through his words. I merely nodded. Summer is only 3 weeks away. That's when your quest begins. Damien picked up sand and let it fall to the ground as he whispered. I heard a story. Emma and Damien were back on the couch in their parents' home in Ohio. I was sitting back home on the couch with my brother. Oh good, you're back, Mom smiled. Hey, thank you for listening to Chapter 7. It's a lot longer than my other chapters, so there is some breaks in there. Just a lot to read, and I'm sure you didn't want to watch me take drinks of my pop in the middle. Alright, so I hope you have a chance to like and subscribe below. I have my books on Amazon. Emma's Quest is only 99 cents, and I do have the box set already available for 1 through 4, and also 5 through 8. So check them out on Amazon and just like and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, I love you guys. Bye.